The 2026 World Cup group stage is over, and I need to tell you it has been absolutely insane. Records broken, legends returning, giant killings, a 40-year-old goalkeeper stopping Spain, a 41-year-old Ronaldo still scoring, Messi doing the impossible, and a tiny island nation of 500,000 people making the entire world fall in love with football again. In the next 10 minutes, I am going to take you through every single story that mattered from the group stage. The moments that shocked the world, the players who announced themselves, and the teams nobody is talking about who could win this entire tournament. If you are new here, I break down every World Cup match in simple language anyone can understand. Subscribe so you do not miss a single video for the rest of this tournament. Let us start from the very beginning. June 11th, the 2026 World Cup kicks off at the Azteca in Mexico City. 87,000 fans, all wearing green. Mexico versus South Africa, and this game had a storyline before it even started. Exactly 16 years ago, the exact same two teams played the opening game of the 2010 World Cup in Johannesburg. It ended 1-1. This time, Mexico won 2-0. Raúl Jiménez scored. Julian Quinones scored. The Azteca went absolutely crazy, and South Africa, 2 red cards, chaos. But the real story was what happened a few weeks later. South Africa came back, beat South Korea 1-0 in their final group game, and made it to the knockout rounds. From that opening night of disaster to qualifying for the round of 32. That is the South Africa story of this group stage. But Mexico were even better. 9 points, 3 wins from 3, perfect group stage. They were the first team at this entire tournament to qualify for the knockouts, and they did it with a game to spare. Let me tell you about the most shocking result of the entire group stage. Spain, the reigning European champions, one of the favorites to win the whole tournament. Lamine Yamal, Pedri, Rodri. One of the most expensive squads in world football. Their first opponent, Cape Verde, a tiny island nation off the coast of West Africa. Population 500,000, playing in their very first World Cup ever in history. The final score, 0-0. Spain could not score. Cape Verde kept a clean sheet, and their goalkeeper, a 40-year-old man called Vazinha, made save after save after save. Spain had 27 shots, 27, and still could not score. At the final whistle, Vazinha broke down in tears on the pitch. 40 years old, crying on the biggest stage in football, because he had just done something nobody in the history of his country had ever done before. And then something incredible happened. Vazinha gained 2 million Instagram followers overnight, 2 million from a single football match. Cape Verde went on to draw their second and third games too, 3 draws, 4 points. And they qualified for the round of 32, the surprise package of the entire tournament. Spain recovered. They destroyed Saudi Arabia 4-0 in their next game, Yamal finally scoring his first World Cup goal, but that first night against Cape Verde will be talked about for years. Now let me tell you about the greatest individual performance of the group stage, and honestly, one of the greatest nights in the history of the World Cup. June 16th, Argentina versus Algeria in Kansas City. Lionel Messi, 38 years old, 6th World Cup, 200th appearance for Argentina, the most capped player in Argentine history, and here is the detail that makes this night feel almost supernatural. On June 16, 2006, exactly 20 years earlier to the day, an 18-year-old Messi came off the bench and scored his very first World Cup goal. His first ever, against Serbia. On June 16, 2026, the exact same date, 20 years later, Messi scored a hat-trick. 3 goals against Algeria on his 200th appearance, on the exact anniversary of his first ever World Cup goal. Nobody could write this, not even Hollywood, but here is what made it even more dramatic. In the 8th minute, penalty for Argentina, Messi stepped up. The chance to become the all-time leading World Cup scorer in history. Everyone watching, the whole world holding its breath, he missed. Wide, Dallas went silent. And then 38th minute, Messi collected the ball, turned and curled it into the bottom corner. Goal number 17. The record was his. More World Cup goals than anyone in history. More than Ronaldo, more than Klose, more than Peel. He scored again in the second half. 18 goals. He then added 2 more against Austria to finish with 20 at 38 years old. This is almost certainly his final World Cup, and he is breaking records like he is 22. Argentina won the group comfortably, and Messi is already the leading Golden Boot contender. On the other side of the greatest rivalry football has ever seen, Cristiano Ronaldo is also here, also doing the impossible. 41 years old, 6 World Cups, more than any outfield player in the history of the sport. And at 41, he is still starting, still scoring, still breaking records. Portugal drew their first game 1-1 against Dr. Congo. Ronaldo missed chances. People said he was finished, too old, too slow. And then came the controversy. His young teammate Joe Neves, 21 years old, said in an interview that Ronaldo is just another player on the team. no different from anyone else. Ronaldo fans went absolutely crazy. They flooded Neves' Instagram with hate messages. Then they found his girlfriend's account and bombarded her with abuse too. Neves responded perfectly. He said, "They attacked my girlfriend. People hate the truth. What they are doing is what ignorant people do." And then Ronaldo did what Ronaldo always does. He responded on the pitch. Against Uzbekistan, Portugal won 5-0. Ronaldo scored twice in 5 minutes. Bang, bang. He is now the oldest outfield player in World Cup history to start a match. And he has scored at 6 different World Cups: 2006, 2010, 2014, 2018, 2022, 2026. No outfield player in history has ever done that. Not Pele, not Messi, nobody. This is almost certainly Ronaldo's final World Cup, and he is not done yet. Now let me tell you about the team that nobody was talking about before this tournament, and is now one of the most feared sides in the entire competition. Japan. Before this World Cup, Japan had 6 wins from 7 games. They beat Brazil in a friendly. They beat England. They conceded almost nothing, but nobody was talking about them as genuine contenders. And then the tournament started. Game 1, Netherlands. One of the favorites to reach the semi-finals. 2-time World Cup runners-up. Virgil van Dijk, Frankie de Jong, Cody Gakpo. Japan drew 2-2, came back from 2-1 down in the 89th minute. Kamada's header. Straight into the top corner. Dallas Stadium went silent. Game 2, Tunisia. Japan won 3-0, completely dominant. Tunisia had 1 shot on target in 90 minutes. 1. Game 3, Sweden. Japan drew 1-1. 4 points from 3 games, through to the knockout rounds. And now the round of 32, Japan faced Brazil. Brazil, 5-time world champions, Vinicius Jr., Rafinha, Neymar coming off the bench. The most famous football nation on the planet. Japan have beaten Brazil in a friendly, and after what we have seen in this group stage, nobody is writing Japan off. Nobody. Japan press harder than any team at this tournament. They cover more ground. They never stop running. They never stop believing this is the most dangerous team in the entire knockout stage. And their next game against Brazil might be the match of the round. Let me be honest with you about France. Because after what I have seen in this group stage, they are the team I fear the most. 3 games, 3 wins, 9 goals scored, only 2 conceded. Mbappe scored 4 goals and 2 assists. He is chasing Messi's all-time record, just 2 behind with games to spare. But the scary thing about France is not Mbappe. It is the depth. Ousmane Dembele scored a hat-trick in under 32 minutes against Norway in their final group game. Mbappe did not even score that night, and France still won 4-1. Michael Olise, Barcola, Dembele, Mbappe. 4 world-class attackers all starting at the same time. No other team at this tournament can match that firepower. And they did all of this without their manager on the touchline for the Norway game. Didier Deschamps flew home after the death of his mother. The team dedicated the performance to him, and then went out and destroyed Norway 4-1. France are the team to beat, and nobody has found an answer to them yet. Now one of the most emotional moments of the entire group stage. Brazil versus Scotland, June 24th, Miami, 76th minute. Brazil already 3-0 up, and then number 10 walks to the touchline, Neymar. 3 years ago he was stretchered off against Uruguay with a ruptured ACL. Everyone said his career was over. Everyone said his World Cup dream was finished. And there he was, walking onto a World Cup pitch again. 70,000 people in Miami on their feet. The whole of Brazil watching at home. Crying, he played 14 minutes, created 3 chances, had a shot on target. Rusty, yes, but back. Alive. Hungry Vinicius scored twice that night. Cunha scored the 3rd. Brazil were brilliant, but the image everyone will remember, the image that will be on the front page of every newspaper in Brazil, is Neymar. Shirt number 10, walking onto the pitch. This is most likely his final World Cup, and in Miami it finally began. Now let me quickly run through the biggest upsets of the group stage, because this World Cup has had more shocks than any tournament in recent memory. South Korea beat Czechia 2-1 in the opening weekend. Nobody expected that. Ecuador beat Germany 2-1 in their final group game, knocking Germany out of the tournament. Ecuador beating Germany at the World Cup in 2026. Japan coming back twice to draw 2-2 with Netherlands. In the 89th minute, Cape Verde holding Spain to 0-0 with a 40-year-old goalkeeper. Morocco holding Brazil to 1-1 in the opening game. Brazil had less than 30% possession in the first half. Canada 6-0 Qatar, Jonathan David hat-trick. Canada scoring 6 goals at a World Cup. 6 Senegal 5-0 Iraq in the final group game. 5 goals. Senegal fighting their way into the knockout rounds. And Uruguay, 2-time World Cup winners, eliminated in the group stage, going home without winning a single game. This World Cup has been completely unpredictable, and the knockouts have not even started yet. So who are my picks to watch in the knockout rounds? France, the most complete squad at the tournament. Too much firepower for anyone. Argentina. Messi has 20 World Cup goals. He is playing like a man possessed. The defending champions are not done. Japan, everyone's dark horse. Their press is suffocating. They beat Brazil in a friendly, and they are about to face Brazil in the round of 32. Morocco. They held Brazil 1-1. They beat Scotland. They are organized, disciplined, and dangerous on the counter. Spain. After that Cape Verde shock, they woke up. Yamal is the best 18-year-old on the planet. If he is firing, Spain can beat anyone, and the team nobody is talking about, Egypt. They topped Group G. Nobody expected it. Nobody knows what to make of them, which makes them very dangerous.